Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the stream. It's time for some more development of Groenland, and today we are carrying on with our ladder. Now, we have worked on it a bit last night, and we have changed things a bit. As you can see, our actual thing is working well, apart from the fact that we kind of don't get to the end of the ladder. Now, what I'm going to do with that is we are going to do a little thing here where if we are finished, we're going to get our ref char right, and we're going to get our forward vector, whoops, oh yeah, I'm going to set this up for you guys a bit better again. You need to remind me to do this, right? Hi, good afternoon, Michia. I'm going to guess that's how it's pronounced. You can let me know if that's wrong or not, if you're still in the chat. So, we're going to get our forward, not input. We're going to get our forward vector. Get actor forward vector. And then we are actor location. We're not going to do that. We could do that, actually. But we're not. We're going to split this into functions and stuff later. We're going to get actor location. We're going to get this forward vector, right? And then we're going to multiply it by a float. And we're going to make that float, let's say, 10. And then we're going to move to location. And we're going to do all this stuff down here. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually going to work. Right. We might need to lerp this again. And we're going to add this and vector to vector, right? And then we're going to create another timeline. And we're going to say forward. We're going to say it's TL forward. Okay. And we're going to say it takes 3 seconds. Right. And we're just going to create a new track, rename alpha, and our alpha is going to be 0, 0, and our end is going to be 3 and 1. Okay. Actually, maybe not. Maybe we shall go 2. Yeah, we'll go 2. Okay. Then we're going to go back to our event graph. And we're going to delete this for now. We're going to play from start. And we're going to set our actor location again. Here. Hi Rudy, how are you this afternoon? Hope you're well. So we're going to set our actor location okay. And we might need to set a final direction here. Okay. But we can duplicate that. Oh, that's interesting. What kind of effect do you try to make? Let's see if we can help you out a bit. Not saying I'm going to be able to fix your whole issue, but we can. So we're going to lerp on a vector, and we're going to say actor location. And this is not going to work, but we're going to do it anyway for a laugh. And we're going to do that. Okay. And we're going to see what happens. And you're not well. Does that mean you're physically unwell or you're unwell because you need to do something that you've not done yet? Right, so we're going to go up our ladder. Well, that was a bit weird. What do you want to freeze? Okay, so what do you want to freeze? Do you want to freeze the whole game, or do you want to freeze certain things within the game? Right, you'll have to be a bit more specific than that. Can you give me... Yeah, time freeze, but what does time freeze mean? Right? Does it mean everything stops? Do you stop? What stops? Or do all the enemies stop? Does everything else... You'll have to give me a bit more information than that, okay? Okay, well... Right, just for you, I'm going to show you how to do it. Right, now, if you want the whole game to stop, including you, you basically use something called time dilation. Okay? So, for example, if I set time dilation you can probably do something with the camera. No, I'm not saying that that's the answer. I'm explaining a couple of things and then I'm going to tell you how to do it. Right, so one answer, if you want to pause the game completely, including your character, would be dilation. Okay? But that's not the answer. The answer is event dispatchers. Okay? So, I'm going to show you in a second once I think about what I'm doing here. I'm going to have to show you this in a different project. Okay. See, this is quite, it's not difficult to do, but it's difficult, going to be difficult to show you. Okay, right. Let's do this. Right, we'll do this in Unreal Engine 5, I suppose, even though it'll probably break. Right, so let's do this. That's the wrong place. Right, in here will do it. Now, I'm not a big user. How can I learn to do effects? Well, if you give me a second to actually answer your first problem, and your effect isn't really an effect, I think you can do it straight up with a camera, right? Which I'll try to show you again once you give me a minute. Okay, so let's have a look at our first problem. The easy one, I think. Well, both aren't that difficult, but we'll do it anyway. So if you just give this a second, then we'll have a look for you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the camera and see if we can just quickly turn it black and white, and I'm sure you can, right? Yeah, I kinda can make any game I want. Right, so first thing first, we need our world settings so we can find out what pawn or whatever we're using. Right, so it's con GP, right? So we're going to open this up. Okay, and we need to get our default pawn. Okay, so camera control class, oh, it's a long time since I did this, but anyway. So if we press play, I don't know what's going to happen here because I haven't set this up right. No, I haven't set this up right. Okay, whatever, I'm on the wrong map. Okay, so monster spawner. Do we have a level here? Do we have different levels? We should have. Data table structure. Right, so we have our map. I'm guessing. Right, okay. We'll select this anyway. right? And if we browse to our third person character, you'll notice that we have a follow camera, right? If you go down to the camera options and you like look at the lens, exposure, dirt mask, camera, exposure, image effects, color grading, right? So if you go in here, I'm pretty sure that you can muck about with these and get black and white. Okay? So just have a look in here, muck about with these. Okay? Saturation, contrast, gamma, gain and offset, color grading. You can go in the temperature, white balance, right? If I turn this on, apparently yes. I knew this was all available. You can do different things in here, you know, so you should be able to do it in the camera itself, you know, by changing the saturation and the contrast. You should be able to gain something out the box there, right? Now, what we want to do here is we want to press play and we'll move on to the second issue, okay? And I am actually showing a widget here. Okay, so if we go to ConGP, I'm not going to show this, obviously. Let's see what we've got. Data table row names, guns, print string, and I am kinda sure that I'm showing scrolling credits there. So it looks like that's not got any code in it. Okay, level 1. Save that. Okay. Now this should be default, and we're going to have a look at your time dilation thing, right? So we're going to press play, and there's our gun thing. So if we go into our this, and I'm going to change this to Pcon. In fact, yeah, right, okay, we're going to change it to Pcon. And I'm guessing that this is the wrong thing. This is what happens when you have to do a million tutorials for people. Right? I'm going to call it Dungeon Controller. And if it's using this game mode override, it might just ignore what I'm trying to do anyway. Right. So what we got with this Still does the same thing. Right, that says to me that this is not really a level. Right, okay. Let's take a different route to this. Right. Do you want me to do this in Unreal Engine 4 or 5? Is the question. It should work in both anyway. And actually, right, we're going to do it in 4.27, right? We're going to create a new project, third person, and we're going to get your time freezy thing done. Right? So, next, we're going to do third person next, and we're going to call it top freeze. Okay. Yeah, I don't use 5. We've got a tutorial on it. I don't use it yet. It's going to be fine in a future version, but right now it's... Well, I know people who have had no problems with it whatsoever, and that's great, but I've had issues with it. I know other people have had issues with it, so we're going to forget about that for now. Right, okay. So here is our camera. Okay. Now, as I said, we've got the same settings in here, right? So we've got lens with bloom, exposure, camera, shutter speed, ISO, blah blah blah. You can muck about with them. Color grading. So if we press play, right, that's what we get. Okay. Now if we muck about with these and say we do color grading, okay, so let's say we turn on saturation and we do that, okay, then save it, and then we press play. You'll notice it has been kind of drained the black. See how the green is different now? Right, so as I said, I'm not a photographer. Don't know what this does, but we'll try it. But mucking about with this is going to give you different effects on the camera. You can see there that, actually you can see it there, right? You can see the effect on the camera there. So you can see right that you can do stuff. And that's taking all the red out. Right. There you go, black and white. Just go to saturation and turn everything to 0. There's your answer. Everything's black and white. So if I compare that, play, there you go, black and white camera. How's about that? Oh, you're okay, Rudy. I enjoy trying to help people, it's fine. So there you go, you can change the camera, saturation, turn it to 0, black and white camera. Okay, now to your time dilation problem. Okay, what you want to do is you're going to have on each of your characters a function, and you're going to bind it to your player controller, and then your player controller, when you hit the button, is going to send a message to everything. Okay, are you not wanting to see how you freeze time? I'm guessing you don't want to see how you freeze time. Okay, so if you don't want to know, I'll give you a clue. Event dispatchers. Okay, you're going to have a binding you're kind of not making sense. Do you want the freeze time thing or not? Well, let me know in the chat if you want me to show you how to do freeze time. There is how you do the black and white camera. You change the saturation to 0. Right. So do you want me to show you? Okay, what I'll do is I'll let you see the basics of how to do it, right? So, in the event graph, we've got all our normal movement stuff. So, we're going to add a key. Oopsie. Going to add a key. And then that will give us all our keys if you scroll up. So we'll basically pick K, I suppose, right? And then we set an event dispatcher, and we say freeze time. Okay. And then what we do is we drag that in and we call it. Okay. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to send out an event dispatcher, and it's going to send it out to every single actor that has this binded. Okay? So, if I create another actor, right, so we'll go into here, we'll open blueprints, we'll create an actor, right, a simple actor, and we'll say freeze. Okay, and then what you do is on begin play, we're going to get the player controller, okay, and cast it should be cast to third person controller. Cast. Oh, that's interesting. Has to be said. Ah, it's a third person okay, it's not the controller, it's actually the pawn. Right, so we basically get the pawn and cast it to third person character, because that's the controller that we've got in our scene. Right, and then we bind event to freeze time. Okay, and then we say custom event, and we say freeze time, and then we'll put print string right, and then we'll say I am freezing time. Okay, and you would set these up in every single one of your actors that you need to freeze. Okay, now you could parent it and then do it in the parent, it's up to you, but you'll notice that if I put a breakpoint in here, right, and then get here and add a breakpoint here, okay, and then I'm going to bring in my freeze actor and then press play. Okay, now if I press K, we have broken and we're calling freeze time. Okay, and then if we resume, you'll notice in our new actor we're telling it to freeze time. Right, so basically you can tell your actor to stop doing anything. Okay, and then you can obviously unbind the event, right, or in your event dispatcher, right, if we go back to our event dispatcher, okay, we can actually add an input, right? So we can put a boolean, so we can say freeze true or false. Okay, so we can refresh this node and put freeze. Okay, and then if we come back and when we freeze time, you can freeze or unfreeze, right? So basically you can branch on this. So I can say branch Okay, come in here, and then I can say true or false. So I can add, so I can basically say unfreezing time. I can plug this in here, right? We can go back to our third person character. We can add a flip-flop. Okay. So we can call freeze time true, or we can call freeze time false, and that'll unfreeze it. Okay. So now, when I come in here and I press K, right, we call freeze time, we resume, I am freezing, resume, okay, we press K again, unfreezing time, freezing time, right, we can undo that, disable that breakpoint, resume, disable that breakpoint, resume, right, unfreezing time, freezing time, unfreezing time, right? And then all you need to do is in your freezing time, in your all of your actors that you want to stop, in here, right, you just basically tell everything to stop, right? Stop movement, stop whatever, okay? And that is how you tell everything in your scene to stop doing anything. You bind it to an event that your character fires, and basically everything's going to be listening to find out if that ever happens, and then it's going to do it, right? It's going to stop. Well, in this case, it's going to print out I am freezing or not freezing. In this case, you would stop all movement. In this case, you would allow all movement back again. Okay? But the important thing is, it's done by an event dispatcher. And the things that's going to be listening for the event dispatcher have to be bound to that event. Okay? So hopefully, Rudy, that has helped you. And anybody else that was thinking about how to do this and how event dispatchers work, hopefully that has helped. Okay. Now, the interesting thing is, just to show you here, right? If I duplicate this, right? So we've now got two of these. You'll notice that when I press play and I hit K, it prints it out twice because the two actors are acting on that event dispatcher, right? So both are unfreezing time, both are freezing time, both are unfreezing time. Okay? Has anybody out there got any questions? Has that explained it? Okay, I'll give you guys a second. There's a few people watching, might not know what's going on, or they might have questions, which is fine. We are doing a sort of tutorial section here. right? So if anybody's got any questions or want to see all of this again or whatever, let me know, or I shall just save this project and carry on with Groenland, and we will go back to our ladders. Okay, well, I'll take that as we go back to Groenland. Anyone? Or has anyone in the chat got another tutorial that we can quickly do on how to do another thing? Right, well, hopefully, Rudy, that's you sorted, right? You can do this exact same way, and then in each of your individual items, and hopefully you've got them parented, right? You can stop them moving here, right? And then restart them moving here. Okay? So I'm going to call that a win for Rudy. Right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 2-minute break and have a cigarette. I shall be back in 2 minutes. I'm going to load up the other project. So if you're enjoying the content, then hit like and subscribe. Check out the description for my Patreon. Also the Discord and my previous game on Steam, which I would really appreciate it if you add it to your wish list. I'll be back in 2 minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere. Okay guys, we are back. We're back in Groenland. We can open up our test map again. Remember to hit that like, subscribe button, guys. I'm trying to get to 600, not too far away. You guys could do it today if you really wanted to. Right, so we are back to here. Okay, and we are looking at our ladder. And we are going to step on it. Right? And we are basically lerping between these 2 points, which is our actor location and the point here. We maybe want to change this to a bigger number just for a laugh to test it. Okay, so 100's going to be quite a big move. So it should be interesting to find out if it actually does it. Right, anyway. So, 1 second. Need to move a few windows about. Right, so we're going to move to our ladder and use it. She's going to move there. And she's not moving forward. Right, so there's something weird going on. Right? And that's definitely on the finished. And that should not be there. Oopsie. Well, fundamentally it shouldn't be there either. It should actually be there. Right, we only allow input once all the movement is done. Right, so we want from finished here to here. Okay, I'm going to save that and try again. There has been weird stuff going on with this for the very start, right? And that's weird. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I wonder if that is affecting it. Right. Right. Okay. It would appear to me that's not affecting it, right? But for whatever reason, our character her forward vector is weird. Okay, and we may need to do a further bit of tweaking on this. Right. Now, as I said, it is working. Right. And now oh, I'm an idiot. That goes there. Duh. Well, that explains a lot. Right. Go forward. Right. Okay. You gonna move forward? What on earth is going on with that ladder? There is some weird, wacky stuff going on with that ladder. Right. Am I... Okay. What we'll do is we're going to create some ray tracing. Okay? So that we can figure out what in the heck is going on with our character. Okay? So we're going to create an event tick on it, right? Not something I would normally advise, which is why we're going to remove it again, right? And we're going to delete that, and then we're going to do line trace by channel, right? And then our start is going to be our actor location. Okay, it's not. Right, we're going to delete that for now. I'll show you why in a second. Right, we're going to make... I suppose it'll do. Right, it'll not actually not matter. Right, we'll do that. Then we shall do that. And we shall make it 500. Okay. Ignore self. We're going to draw a debug. And we're going to say for duration. And that'll do it. So that's going to give us a line out our character. I'm just wanting to check something here. I want to check top collision. Overlap only pawn. So that's right. And we're not going to block this. We're going to set that to overlap only pawn. This might be the problem here. Right, this outline mesh is going to block nothing. This move spline is going to get deleted. Right? Because we're not doing anything with the move spline anymore. So we can basically just delete that whole thing. Right, that's going to basically sort us out. This is actually now incorrect. We're not going to use that Y width at all. So we need to make sure that we're not actually using it. We're not. So we're not using any Y width anywhere, which is cool. Right? And the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to put that back, right? And when we press play, right, you can now see which direction she's actually facing. Right, now that isn't the camera, that is her direction. And you'll notice now we can walk through the ladder, which is bad, right? So our object mesh, we're going to say block all dynamic, right? And you can see that our forward direction is actually right. Okay. And there is something really weird going on. Whew, something really strange going on there. I'm going to say none to this top collision box. And I'm actually going to set this to no collision. And I'm going to also set this to no collision. Which isn't going to work because this is basically going to say, is it actually going to collide with... I may need to refigure this, but that should be bottom collision. Right. So we're going to none, right? And we're going to say overlap only pawn. And we're going to do the same here. Overlap only pawn. Right. And you can see that this actor location oh, wait a minute. This isn't doing this. Except it is. So this is 1909. And this is 1896. 1896 minus 1909. So that's not much on the X. That's minus 643. Yeah, so that's about 100 on the Y. Right? Ah, what an idiot. What an idiot. Should be on ref character. Ah. And that's why our ladder started doing weird stuff. Right, so if we take the disable breakpoint there, well, that was weird. And okay. Okay, we need new position. Right. and that is going to be a vector, right? Because this is getting calculated all the time. We don't want that. We just want a single position. So we set the new position here. Right? And this goes in here. And this goes in here. Okay. And there she is, up on top. Right. Now, there are weird things going on there, but we are fundamentally doing what we set out to do there. Right now, if we can get a transition animation where she gets up over the top of this, then we can set it in the right place, right, for a ladder, and then she will get up and move forward, and that'll be fine, right? But we do need her now to collide with the ladder. Okay, so if we set this, we can check it to see if it fires. We can say has tags. We can say player. Then we can branch. Hi Jahar, it's Jahar Kaju. Geo. Don't know what geo means, but I'll take it as hello. So hello. We're going to break here, add breakpoint, grab that, right? We're going to stop that. And what is this set to collide with? Overlap only pawn. Okay. Why was it overlapping with anything else? Okay. We can do a print string, I suppose, just to add a breakpoint in. Right. Add breakpoint. Compile that. And what we want here is we can get rid of that. Okay, and we do want to check this. Okay. And there is our collision. So we can stop that. And now we can start bringing in other things. So if we go back to here, we can take this away. Compile that. Go back to our ladder. Right? But we want to actually reparent this and not to an interactable. Right? We want this actually okay. Right, it's interactable item. Right, so it's these two things here that we want to actually use. Right, now we're going to have to change them slightly to our what we want, but they are going to be the basis for our ladder. Okay. That's fine. And that's fine. Okay. And our ladder, we're going to have to reparent it. And it's just an actor. Okay. So we're now going to have to update what we're doing here. Okay, so we're going to have ref char and that's going to have to be that. And then once we've done this, we don't need this anymore. But what we do need is to set that. So we need to get pawn and then cast it to that. Then that is going to go in here and in here. I can move this over a bit and back up to where it was. Move that in line, drag that up to here, join those up and refresh that. There you go. Well, that fixed a lot of issues. Right. So these things here we're going to move these a bit as well, down out the way. We'll tidy this up shortly, but in the meantime we'll do that, we'll do that. We might create another widget for this, but we'll find out in a second or two. This can come down, this can come down a bit, get that straightened up. There we go. Straighten this one up. And now this apparently we can't make an item. We've got item and item data. So it looks like we're going to have to create a brand new widget. Okay. Which is fine. I wonder what's going to happen if I... yeah, I thought so. Because this is no longer an interactable item, right? Which is fine. We don't have item data. Right, so we're going to have to create a new one, right? And we're going to have to set the outline mesh again, but what we want to do is we want to see, well, this is actually not going to work. Right. Now, where is our ladder? Ah, now we've lost. Okay. I'm going to reparent this back. To the interactable item. Okay. But we aren't going to show this. Okay. So we're kind of making a mess of this. Okay. So we're gradually filling this back in, but there's something. What the heck? It's an event. Alright, we're going to delete that for now. And we are going to have to recreate some of this. Actually, no, we don't. We don't. We can create a secondary one. Right. That's going to set our outlines and stuff, that's fine. Okay, so what we'll do is alright. Okay, so Right, so this is obviously to do with... Ah, okay. Okay. Having said that, it's not okay. So whatever it is, this isn't an interactive item. Okay. Right. I think we've really screwed this up. Whatever's going on, it's not showing. Yeah, of course it's not. Of course it's not. When we overlap, oh, this is what happens when you end up screwing things up. Ah, darn it. Right. Okay. You've got me on this one. I'm going to have a look at something else to see what's going on here. Ah, right. We need to do this again. Okay. Whatever. Right. I'd call it parent. Okay. Okay. Let's try this again then, shall we? There we go. Right. Okay, so that's not happening. Alright. So, in our ladder, that should be off, that should be off. Save that. Press play. And how good is that we're not moving anymore? Okay. What on earth has happened? Add a breakpoint there, and let's have a look. We've certainly mucked things up, that's for sure. Wow. That is weird. Right. Okay. We have basically all right. Mohammed sir, right? Okay. And the question is, I cannot believe this has stopped working. Apart from this. So that's a bit weird as well. Okay. I'm gonna get that. Wait a minute. Get that. And then when we enable it again, we're getting that. Still not convinced. not going to plan this ladder at all, is it? Right, okay, so it appears we're climbing now. Alright. Oh, that's interesting. So something went on over here, and that's because of this. Right. So we've set that, and now we need, to be fair, now we need a break. So, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the stream, hit the like and subscribe, preferably the subscribe. And check out the description for my links to my Discord, my Patreon where you can support the channel and the game, and also my previous game on Steam, which would be great if you added to your wish list. So thanks again for watching, guys. I'll be back at 8 PM Central. Bye bye for now.